So guys, we will start with day two. But before day two, we will have a recap of entire thing. Those who are new, those who are this might for some people they might be attending this time. So we will just go through a quick recap. If you haven't been to the recordings, so we started with mostly in a game. Then I have explained you the difference between that. This was the real life example of the guys who have attended the boot camp. One guy was killing it bad, extremely good, and the another guy was so reluctant, so resistant even to open the set. There was another guy from Kolkata. Kaustubh was only sent him, and he was there with me, like at staying with me like around 20-25 days. And in that 1 month, hardly he was able to open any set. So some people do have other issues. Now we understand the concept about game. I give you the example why two people when they come into the game. For some guys, it's really amazing fun, and for some guys, it's really pain. For some guys it's like a big struggle for them because they have a lot of approach, massive level of approach anxiety, and they don't get things fast. For some people, different people have different issues. These issues becomes their later on might become their sticking points. Okay. For example, I explain you the journey of game. Like three women was there, and they were put to same diet, training, and everything, coaching and everything, but the results after 1 year was different. The reason is they come from a very different, their starting point of different, their biology was different, entire thing was different. So that's the result. The same how here it was genetics, the same how it was the wrong beliefs and the right beliefs, the mindset, the childhood conditioning, the parent conditioning, their upbringing, this all do plays a bigger role in picture sometime, or sometime it doesn't play a role. It depends on person to person, depending who the person is and what are his condition. Hi everyone, Gaurav Singh. Okay. Uh, yeah, again. So when it comes to importance of looks, I have said you that looks do matter, but don't get into the extreme mode like a black pill mentality. Little bit of things are okay, but it requires some time. To some extent, I know the guys who have good body, they are still struggling with the woman. I know the guys who have the best body. I gave you the example of that day about me and Rago. When we were walking, we saw the guy who was literally having 8 pack abs, and we asked him like, "Bro, you're so handsome, so good looking." He literally used to look like a Greek god. And when asked, he was like, "Okay, bro, I dated once a time, but I never had a girlfriend," because he had different level of issues. Uh, and I'm not discarding the importance of look. Yes, it does play a role, but it is one of the one or two elements of 10 to 15 more elements. Then I explained you about my journey of game, what it has been. For example, I had a massive level of approach anxiety when I took my first boot camp. In first boot camp, I hardly opened 3 sets because a lot of preconceived notion and biasness was there. Like मेरे से नहीं हो पाता है. I also explain you how different perceptions create different reality. When I was learning and when I was learning from other coaches, they used to say, भाई तू जाके कुछ भी बात कर सकता है. भाई मैं क्या बात करूं? ये भाई रिकॉर्डिंग यूट्यूब पर अपलोड करोगे ना? या ब्रो, डे 1 इज अपलोडेड. डे 2 एंड डे 3 आई विल हैव टू टॉक विद कौस्तुभ and what he will say, and depending on the mutual conversation with Capital Planet and Kostub, then we will think that whether to put day 2 and day 3 recording. So right now it's live attended. Okay, so I was explaining how for some people it's very difficult even to open and say hi to the stranger. For some people it's like bam, and different issues create different of problems. Okay, let's proceed further. This was my inner journey of game. When I started to know about this game, I explained you like I have invested tons of time, money, energy, emotion, everything in game. Lot of guys used to tell like, "Yeah, go NLP kar le." So I did NLP. Some said hypnotism works. If you can hypnotize, then I did. I wasted a lot of time in different various spiritual organization. I won't say that I wasted a lot of time, but I was trying to figure it out. Then some from the Neil Strauss the game, I came to know like a lot of pickup artist guys go to Vipassana. Then I thought maybe going to the Vipassana will help me. But as I explained you, different practices and different spiritual things works for different people. And I am not recommending you any of these things. ये कर लो, ये कर लो, ये कर लो, ये कर लो. We will try to identify which are the psychological and implementable parameters that are easy to implement. Okay. Uh, then I spent a lot of time in Brahma Kumari, Happy Thought, ISKCON. I did sound therapy also. ऐसे लेटाते हैं, आपने कभी फिल्मों में देखा होगा, ऐसे लेटाते हैं, टुंग 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 साउंड बजाते हैं. Then I hired 5 to 6 7 counselors, therapists. But I will tell you my experience with them. Some were good, some were extremely worst. Some were like मैं क्या बता रहा हूँ, वो क्या बता रहे हैं, वो बहुत ही अलग होता है. एक काउंसलर, I forgot to explain you on that day. There was like one counselor. I will strictly take his name because he literally screwed my game. I his name was Bedekar something, and he was like uh 34 years of guy, and like when I explained like I am struggling with getting good with woman, and like bro ये सब shit चीजें क्यों करनी है, पढ़ाई कर, ये कर, वो कर, घर वाले बोल रहे हैं शादी कर. मैंने बोला बट यार आई हैव अ लॉट ऑफ ट्रस्ट इशू, विल आई गेट अ गुड वुमन टू मैरी. अरे मिल जाएगी अच्छी मिल जाएगी, माँ बाप अच्छे ही ढूंढते हैं. which was a most stupid and idiot, although he is talking right, but from his reality, not from my reality. Maybe he don't have those issues. So be aware, if you have certain kind of mental issues in your life, try to find the people who can understand those things. Otherwise, lot of psychologists and therapists, they are dumb, many of them. At least 30 40%, 50 60% can be good. It will depend on person to person. Then I've attended various other program, inner child healing. I did it. I told you, for some people it makes sense, but I see a lot of people जो पाँच पाँच छः छः आठ आठ बार भी repeat करने वाले हैं. I don't see any changes in them. EFT, I told you about the EFT also. It's one of the psychological technique that was invented long back. I tried that. I invested like around 50 70,000. I learned it from Pradeep Pawar and Minal Ma'am, which my experience was at that time when I started learning, it was not that good. But later I found that okay, it is working. I tried yoga vagera also because Lord, I think that oh, yoga heals, yoga does something. So it depends. Like then I attended a lot of various workshops, seminars. वो आपको ads दिखते हैं ना कि fix your anxiety, fix your this, you get this, that. I tried a lot. At least free वाले तो मैंने काफी अटेंड किए और पेड वाले भी काफी ये किए. 100 200 300 वर्कशॉप्स वगैरह किए होंगे, एक एक दो दो तीन दिन के तो मैंने काफी किए. These are some of the pictures, but the purpose is to give some proof because some people only believe if they see proof. Otherwise, मेरे पास एक टीबी की हार्ड डिस्क है, all about the programs. Then once I started to understand something about the inner game and other things, I started reading lot of books. Almost 50 plus books to hoge, but I am not saying you to go and read each and every book. But still, if you want the recommendations that you feel okay यार इस किताब के बारे में जानना है, for example, the Emotional Intelligence, one of the dumb and idiot book, it's just a best-selling book. I don't think that it makes a person emotionally intelligent. I have read that. It's super waste of time. Instead of that, you can read other books. There is one my page, Reads with Raj. I have shared the Excel sheet. I have put all the ratings, and whichever the book that is 5 out of 5 rating, it's must read. Still, lot of other things are there. Conversation. I try to meet a lot of other people, trying to like sort कि कुछ inner game का होता है क्या, and something. I had a conversation with monks, but it depends because they have their own preconceived biasness when it comes to sexuality, when it comes to women. So be aware whom you take advice from. Uh, then I thought maybe living at the certain places has certain energies, certain vibes. I was into that trap also. So I used to spend a lot of time at the different places. Uh, Recently, my friend was saying कि ऋषिकेश चलते हैं, ऋषिकेश में ये प्रोग्राम है, नीम करोली बाबा है. ऐसा नहीं है कि नीम करोली बाबा के आश्रम में आप जाओगे तो आप नेक्स्ट मार्क जकरबर्ग और स्टीव जॉब्स बनोगे ही. ऐसा नहीं है, करोड़ों लोग जाते हैं, उनमें से सब नहीं बनते. या it can be certain people relate with certain experiences and certain places. Living in various places, fire walking, fire eating, needle therapy and all those things, mirror therapy and water technique I tried. Some concepts are good, some concepts are depends. Which thing will work for you, which thing has worked for me, it all depends on person to person. Uh, Healing, pranic healing is there, and Reiki healing is there. I know the people who does Reiki who are sorted. I know the people who does Reiki who are still messed up and totally screwed up. So and when I was trying to do all those things, I explained to you, like on the other side, I was seeing the other guys who are having amazing results in the game, even though their technical and verbal game was not sorted, even though they didn't follow any structure, even their methods was not good, but their beliefs was so congruent, so powerful that they used to get the final outcome and the final results with women. So it literally shattered my reality, because as I told you, the 2 years of explain our 2 years of game, like I was like trying this, trying that, this, that, and I finally figure out, oh, both the things are important. Your outer game is also important, your inner game is also important, and there is a huge difference. But just because your inner game and outer game, both the games are short, that doesn't mean that you don't need techniques, you don't need verbals, you don't need uh, the things to say the right things at the right time in the right place. These are important. Oh, and this is one of the thing I was saying. Okay, I was listening to this podcast. One is Ross Jeffries, and other is Neil Straw. The other is the Great Mystery. I Yesterday I told you, like, okay, when it comes to mystery, I read it Mystery Method in 2017, and I didn't understand anything about the book. And after a certain period, at least for 1 or 2 years of charging, I started to read. It started making sense to me. Now, when I was listening to the both the interviews, both the people were talking a very right perspective. And I related what Ross Jeffrey is saying is right, and what Mystery is saying also right. So Mystery never did any, child healing, any meditation, any therapeutic practices, and other things. And he is like, oh, go to the club and night game, this game, that game, that game. Then Ross Jeffries was telling one thing. See, and he was having conversation with Mystery, and he was telling, I know one guy who is going 5 to 7 years regularly, 3 to 4 times every week in nightclub, and the amount of result he has got, at least two in the entire, and that also not a quality, because for some people it's a very different thing. For a Mystery, he might be good looking magician, a very, he's 6 foot tall, he's a magician, he's a amazing person who has traveled around the world. For Ross Jeffries, is very different. He was a nerd, he was an idiotic person, he had a lot of mental issues, he had a lot of other things, so he took that way. Now, what is important will depend who the person you are. If you are the person like, जिसको अगर मैं बोलूं, oh, let's go and let's talk with that person, and आप कुछ भी बोल सकते हैं, and it's like बाबा 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 बाबा. So you have messed, your inner dialogues are completely, your inner talks are completely different, that you don't have the better representation skills, and which comes in the part of the outer game. Okay, coming back, guys, if my audio is clear, everything is clear, type clear, hi, something, so that I know that I'm still connected. Waiting for your response. Clear. Okay, I will proceed then. Okay. So, inner game is all about your belief system, your self worth, your self image, your identity, your mindset, your inner dialogue, your preconceived biasness, your perception. And outer game is all about verbals, technical structures, and whatever the structure you might be following. Uh, but what I have discovered in game, that the game doesn't work in only one area. It's like an inner game. How much internally sorted you are. I'm not saying sorted, don't get into the loop of sorting yourself. You just need to be emotionally stable. You don't need to get enlightenment to just have sex to woman. You just need to have, there is a difference between stability and sorting yourself. You need to be emotionally stable. I'm not saying sorting, because sorting is something different. And even trust me, no one in this planet is 100% sorted. Even the woman you are talking to it, they are also not 100% sorted. Neither you are, neither I am, neither the people who are the beginner in the industry. Okay, so you need to be just emotionally stable. I'm claiming it once again. You need to be financially stable. You don't need to be financially independent, or you don't need to have a financial freedom. Financial stability is enough. You just need to be proper in shape. You don't need to have 10 pack or 8 packs. I'm not the right person. Regarding fitness, you talk with Kaustubh. He knows more about. But my perception is you just need to be decent looking, little bit, and you can start your journey. It's like ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं एकदम बॉडी बनाऊंगा तो ही मैं गेम करूंगा. And I am not discarding the importance of maximizing the look. It do matters. Then just because your inner game and outer game is short, you need a game plan. Game plan is something, okay, what should I open? Which opener should I open? What should I do? How it is? Like, for example, I will tell you, there was one person like, hey, where is the Mocha Dechu Cafe? I was like, some woman used to respond, some used to not respond. And I used to say, bro, yaar, ye set chalega nahi, tu screw kar dega set. He used to ask, vodka or whiskey, but, and he used to screw set badly. Sometimes he used to, his inner and outer game was started, but what his game plan was completely idiotic and screwed up. He needs to know, understand. For those things, it's a long topic, but I will proceed further because the program is only about the inner game. Now, inner game is about the filters that when you speak with the people or woman, what do you say, your thoughts, alignment, and your thoughts, words, deeds, and action, or entire your sub communication behavior is properly getting aligned or not. If it is not, then there is an incongruent behavior. Let's proceed further. Roadmap is the exact strategy, how you do it, in the way you implement, when is the right time, how to check compliance test, how to apply that formula, the investment and buying temperature, how to see, how to step forward, how to pull back. This is all technical things. And what must be done in the starting phase, in the mid level of phase, in the end mid level of phase, at the starting introduction level of phase. These all things comes into the game plan. I know a lot of guys who doesn't have any game plan is like धड़ 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 open, कुछ हो गया, done, and their deal is closed. And they only think that, अरे hell with that shit, I don't know, want to learn that, पहले ये करना है, वो करना है, वो करना है. For some guys it's working. If it is working for you, then I know one of the guy who's like 100 plus lay at my time, his body count, I have seen the most stupid and idiotic and a stupid level of game. Because when he used to open, at least 10 to 15 people around the girl used to see him. It's just like a ballsiness of confidence. Of course, his inner game was short and outer game was also okay, because he used to talk on a lot of other things, and a lot of other things he was good with. But when it comes to the structure, the framework, the game plan, it was completely shitty and messed. It was like, I have a gun, I will shoot everyone, someone is going to get. And he used to. But the program again is for the people who have that inner game. If you think that I'm the most enlightened person, you can leave the program, no worries. So what we are talking about, the belief system, it's the combination of inner game and outer game. And when once you try the summing back, wrapping up it very quickly, inner game is all about your belief systems, and outer game is all your verbal structures and other things. Now the question is, how do you change the belief? Then we had a conversation for the guys who are messaging, and like they are saying like pehle ka recording is available, message to Kaustubh is there and he will give you the recording. It's available on YouTube only, so day one you can go through again. But it's just the thing that I'm trying to cover everything what we have done yesterday.